Well, hello, hello. This is an abbreviated intro for a bonus Friday flight here, CargoMel edition. We're on the ground at Philadelphia and getting ready to do a FedEx hop down to Memphis. We try to squeeze this in before some of the evening's festivities begin. It's a tight schedule, guys. I've got about 2 hours and 45 minutes or so, and I've got about like a 2.5 hour flight, so it may not end. It may not go well. So we're gonna hop right in. Welcome. Glad you could join, and yeah, let's get it going here. I've got the flight plan sent. We're gonna hop in, and maybe I'm gonna hop in. There we go. And we've got to do. We've got this little menu here, load manager here. Kind of missed the little tablet that they have in the MD11. Got to be honest with you, but that's okay. This will get the job done. All right, what do we have? Total payload here. Total payload. Am I? Oh, you know what I need to do? I'm in kilograms. I need to be in lbs. Regenerate that flight plan. Hope you're doing well. It's been a good day. I went out fishing earlier today. That lasted a little longer than expected. We're just having too much fun, so I'm a little behind right now. And then my wife wants to go to see Oppenheimer tonight. She kind of moved up our departure time by an hour because she wants to go get something to eat first. So that's why I'm a little squeezed, but I think we're okay. I think we can do this. Total payload. Where was I? Payload is 83,720. We're gonna do a couple of little cheats to help us out here. So block fuel 53,190. Taxi fuel 2,000. Trip fuel. Trip fuel is 3773. All right. We're going to apply those, just instant load basically. You can, if you want, you can jump over here. You can actually load everything, and it takes a little bit of time to do, which is kind of fun, but if you're crunched for time a little bit, you can also bypass that, which is also kind of fun. All right, so that's all in, and we're ready to get this thing loaded up. We also have to figure out a time to feed the DO double G's, if you know what I mean here. Electrical power is going to come on. Actually, you know what? We'll go straight to APU. We'll go straight to APU here because we'll be ready to rock.
Shoesy.
Hello, them's my shoes. Happy Friday, dude. Nice to see you. IRS's need to align. We'll do a quick little fire test here. Get those going, and then the other little cheat that you can do here if you want to speed up things is you can go to options and you can do like an instant align. So again, you can you can let those things align. They take about 9 minutes, I think, if you just go regularly, or you can hop in kind of a quick start almost. And there are other states that you saw we probably could have loaded in. I'm not familiar enough to load in like ready to go state, turnaround state. So I always feel like I would leave something turned off that's critical if I did it that way. But okay, passenger signs are coming on. Emergency lights are armed. We are gonna set barrows here. Philadelphia currently a nice day. Winds are 260 at 13. We've got an altimeter setting at 29.75. Hey Eric, welcome Raiders.
Hi, Eric.
So very nice to see you, Eric. Saw you were doing a little practice flight there. That's way cool. Welcome in. And Jeffrey coming over from the raid as well. Hello, hello, guys. Nice to see you. Happy Friday, everyone. All right. Radios. No ATC where I'm at to right now, so that makes it easy. 2280, that's set. And we do need to be able to talk to people, so get that turned up there. That should be good. MCDU time. I think we have, yep, we got AP power, so put the AP bleed on. We can actually turn him off. I feel kind of bad that I had the ground power dude come out and we don't even need him. Dismiss you, sir. Alright, everything else is good. McDo time. McDo time. So we want... Jeffrey, how are you? Nice to see you. Fun flight last night. It looked like I got there right at the tail end. But it looked like you were having a good time. I'm gonna just get enough of this entered in so that we can get going. Then we can put the rest of it in when we're flying. Did you do a wings flight last night, Jeffrey, or were you just hanging out? Malcolm, you got you got your rudder pedals, dude. Is it not nice? I mean, holy moly, those. I can remember when I got my first pair. I'm like, wow, this is so amazing. It just makes landing that much easier and the whole thing. So I'm really happy for you, Malcolm. I think you're going to enjoy them. And the only thing I would tell you is be careful with them, because that tends to be the piece of equipment that wears out the fastest if you're not careful, because you just, oh geez, you're romping on them all the time, and so you just have to be careful. But it'll be cool. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Surprised I'm not flying the Comanche. Well, I did yesterday. And I've been in it like 20 hours in 2 days. It's been awesome. It is really a great aircraft. I enjoy the heck out of it. Oh, those are already filled in for me. Interesting. All right. Usually you have to fill those in. Scott, what is up? Original Godspeed. Nice to see you. I'm working in hyperspeed time to get up and get rolling here, so I can get this flight in time, or finish in time to go on the date with my wife. Otherwise, I'm in trouble, dude. I'm in big trouble. Flight plan. Here we go. Philly. It's going to be the Philly 2 departure. It's going to be runway 27 left. We're going to insert that. We're going to go to MXE. Actually, there's not a lot. I could probably put the whole thing in MXE and Penzi. Then from Penzi, we jump on an airway, Juliet 110. Take that down to Flirt, which is what I'm going to do with my wife at the movie tonight. Then we get on the Juliet 6. And we go to MRB. From MRB, we hop back on the Juliet 6 to HVQ, Greater Quebec, and the Q68 airway. I really need to learn how to do the SimBrief downloader for this airplane. I just haven't taken the time to learn it. Orion's. Ooh, that's a lot right there. Probably have enough to take off at this point, but that's okay. There's only a couple more to put in here. BWG. And, ooh, which BWG? I got to come back here and check on my flight plan. Which BWG? It's the one with the coordinates of 36 and 86. You have this guy right there. Top one. Can't assume, though. Cannot assume. It's not always that top one. Then we're coming in to Memphis on the Blues 3. We're expecting 3-6 center. BWG transition. 3-6 center. There it is, ILS 36 center. Insert, sorry. Awesome, awesome. Prime AZR, hello, 310. But negative, this is the MD11. If that's what you're asking about, aircraft type. Yep, it's the Rotate MD11. Jeffrey, you did wings IFR. Then after that, for something different, you did a flight plan. Oh yeah, you did. I remember that's right where I caught you. You were trying to explain that just for a change. Yeah, yeah, it is a good plane, Prime. I'm just kind of getting used to it. I'm kind of behind the curve on it a little bit here, but this is actually the first time I've put it on stream. So, thanks for coming in. Thanks for the first time chat, by the way. Nice to meet you. Now, I remember Jeffrey. I remember you talking about that right at the end there, and I didn't know if that was intentional or not, and I love the fact that you like to mess with the controllers a little bit. All right, we're gonna do flex 50. We're gonna go flaps 22. We have really no slope here. I'm gonna put it at a slope of 0 and headwind of 13 knots right now. HD12.
Traffic, United T12 pushing back from the Delta 3 gate.
Outside air temp currently 30. Oh, warm here in Philly. All right, there we go. We've got our V speeds. They're checked and confirmed. And we will put those over here so that we can see them as we go. And yeah, so V2 is 146. We will spin 166 in as our initial speed. And that initial heading on the Philly 2 is runway heading. And then you get vectors. So actually you have to turn a little bit, 245. That's right, you have to turn slightly to the south. 245. Funny part was the student gave you the correct clearance. Then the mentor came on and asked. Oh no. Yeah, they just haven't seen that before, I guess, right? Initial altitude of this departure is 5,000 feet, by the way. And plug that in. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Okay, we're ready, I think, to call for push. We are obviously not doing our normal, you know, go through everything, not with the fine-tooth comb, but like a little bit more detailed with explanations. And again, the reason why is it's a hurry up and wait thing. I got to get in the air so I can try to get this flight complete so that I can be ready to go for my date with my wife tonight. But I've really been looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to putting this this flight or this plane. Excuse me. I'm looking forward to putting this plane on stream. So.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Okay, we're gonna push back nose to the west. Pull forward just a little bit.
Ground to cockpit.
Thank you, Susie. You hadn't really considered filing to a waypoint until your mentor at the ZNY said, remember on VATSIM you'll likely never see anyone do that. But remember they can't. So yeah, it's just like working those failures, right? In an aircraft, kind of learning the ins and outs of those as well. So that's, I've never thought of that myself. So that's probably good that you did that. So was the waypoint then, the part I didn't hear was, was the waypoint actually an airport then as well, or was the waypoint just a place you wanted to go to, and then after that you were going to like cancel IFR and go somewhere else? I mean, I guess what's the point of filing a flight plan to a waypoint, right? I guess, unless you're going to go somewhere else. Hey, Subsonic, what's going on? Nice to see you. We're connecting. I'm going to be moving here, so let's get some beacon lights going. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to turn these guys on here as well. We are going real time, real weather, but a little bit of a dark cockpit here. All that stuff is fine.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, we will release the parking brake and we'll get ready for engine start. Used it to fly out of a storm to VMC. Okay. IMC to VMC. I see. Okay. I guess that's a good reason. Okay, we're gonna go engine ignition source B for this first one, and oh, I think I have the chocks on still. That's maybe why we're not going anywhere. Oh, sure enough, there we go. Chocks are
Starting pushback. And
all
you
right.
may start engines.
We may start engines. All right, 3, 2, 1. So pull the starter here for engine 3, and we're going to look for 15%. And 2. Fuel is currently off. 13, 14, 15. We'll turn the fuel on and look for everything over here. Fuel flow, EGT, N1 over here. The little lights are twinkling, Clark. All right, what did I say? 312. Yep, 312. Well, I hope you guys are having a good Friday. The weekend is here, everyone. That's awesome. Hope you have good plans for the weekend. I have some good news. I thought I had a conflict for tomorrow morning's Virtual USA Flying Club event, which is breakfast with Mike or Cinnabons with JPC or something like that. But I am, in fact, going to be able to make that one. That's an early 9 a.m. Eastern. So it'll be pretty early for us as well. We're used to going at about an hour later than that. But happy to be able to fly that one. Whoops, clicked the wrong one. There we go. And yeah, then off to a charity golf tournament. I have not picked up a set of golf clubs in a while. I'm really not supposed to be golfing, but it's for charity, so I'll probably be the drive the cart guy and maybe chip and putt guy or something like that. I don't know.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
I'm not sure what the contribution to the team is going to be for me, but
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
you know how those things are. They just want you for your money anyway.
Philadelphia traffic, United C12, taxi
All right, that looks like a good engine start. Yep, 1, 2, 3. We are started. We can turn the APU air and power off. We need to put the defog and the emergency powers on. Disconnect you. Gonna get our flaps and our stab trim set, and also have to get our transponder set here. So our flaps 22. One of the coolest things about this plane is the dial a
Tow is
flap.
disconnected and bypass pin has been removed.
Put it in
Hand
this
signal on the
range.
right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Literally use this dial to dial flaps 22 or whatever you want to use. Squawking 2000 there, TARA, and we wanted our stabilizer 4.6. So that's right here. I'm just going to use the electric trim wheel here to spin that up. 5, 6, that looks good. Taxi lights can come on. It's kind of a long taxi here, but that's okay. And now we're ready. Takes a minute for this to spin down and turn off, so that light will stay on for a little while. All right. Philadelphia traffic. FedEx 816 out of Cargo City will be 27 left. We're going to go around Zulu to Sierra. Yeah.
Philadelphia traffic, United 212 crossing 27 right.
Hey, Rob.
Hello, back to me.
Crunch, crunch. Nice to see you, man. Yeah, I got this taxi. The last time I was here, they had an event that featured Philadelphia a week or so ago, and I was doing kind of my last practice run, to be honest with you, before putting this baby on wax. And this is the taxi that they give you. It's kind of crazy. I'm going to show you here once I get going. There we go. Need to arm the spoilers. So it looks, you know, you're here, and 27 left is over here. So, you know, a lot of times you come down, just kind of cross over a runway, but here they take you down and around the end and back up. It's kind of an interesting, deal. Whoa, hey, hello.
Right, we'll be doing a, let's see, southeastbound departure.
I thought it was kind of cool. It was a really neat way to. They had a bunch of aircraft that were departing, and it was a really neat way to sort of queue them up and have room. Let me show you that again now that I'm on the taxiway. But they brought everybody here, and they split them up. And they sent half to Tango and half they kept on Sierra, and then they kind of had two lines here, one on November and one on Sierra, and they just were able to alternate and get everybody going in a fairly timely manner. It was kind of neat. I'm new to Philadelphia, so I picked up this scenery the other day, and yeah, it's been fun. Enjoyed it. It's a neat little place. Like, you know, kind of one of those. Like, there's so many other big airports around, you know, Boston and all the ones at New York and all the ones down by, you know, DC, and you forget that how big this airport actually is. And now those 27 left, that guy just departed, by the way. But you forget how busy and big this hub is. It's a big cargo hub for FedEx and UPS, and it's quite a cool place. All right. Takeoff checks. We're going to get our lights on. Slow down here. Getting ready to rock and roll. I'm going to turn my traffic on. Let's hang on for just a second here. Make sure everything's ready to go. I'm gonna push autoflight once to arm the autopilot, and yeah, we're ready to rock and roll.
Philadelphia traffic, United 212, 2.9 and climbing. We're about 5 miles to the southeast of the field, departing the field to the southeast.
Philadelphia traffic UPS, FedEx 816 is departing 27 left, Philly. Alright, I don't hear anybody coming, don't see anybody coming.
Sweet MD11, by the way.
Hey, thank you. I hope I don't break it.
I heard that.
This plane has been a little more of a challenge to learn than I have anticipated. That, like, most of it came pretty easy because there are some similarities between it and the MD80, but the part that has caused me the most problems is right on the final phase, the descent phase, when you have to make corrections to your heading and your speed, and oh Lord help you if you've got to change approaches. That's been the part that I've really had to wrestle with, and like I said, I think, fingers crossed, I think I kind of have a handle on it, but you know what, we're gonna find out here. So let's rock and roll. Increase to about 60%, and then the auto throttle takes over. There it is. Oh, 3 good engines. Airspeed is alive. There's 100. V1 and VR. Pretty light today, really. This is a 2.5 hour flight is pretty short for this bird. Positive rate is indicating gear is coming up. Pitch forward here, get some airspeed. Bring 1 notch of flaps up. Okay, we might be vectored, but I think what I'm going to do is clear us up to like 13,000 or something like that. Oops, getting a little fast now. I need to go ahead and pitch up. And we're going to go profile, and we're going to go nav. And that is autopilot is armed now. And I feel like we're really climbing super steep. Don't know why that is. Yep. Try to keep things going in the right direction here. Okay, and I'll arm the I will enable the auto flight. And are we captured? I think we are. Yes. Okay, we're good. Well, maybe. We should be turned to Uncle right now. Are we turning to Uncle? No, we're not. Oh, actually, no, that's not right. I need to go flight plan. We need to go direct to MXE, and we need to insert that. Oh, sorry. There we go. Now we should make our turn. Yep. All right. Rock and roll. And then I'm going to go ahead and clear us all the way up to our cruise altitude of 320. Okay, good deal. That wasn't even able to give you a flyby here. Sorry, guys. Rob, it's nice to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. I do have some sweet cinematic views set up with X camera. I hope to also bust those out. That's the other thing I'm trying to learn at the same time, is how to integrate that a little more seamlessly than I currently have. I currently have it. It's pretty clunky. I've got to open the window up here, open the menu, but I'm gonna give you a few of the views. I'm gonna give you the test views today. We'll see how it's going. Just got home from work a little bit ago. Got to work tomorrow as well. Man, it's a busy season for you, though, isn't it? Right now, got to make hay while the sun shines. All right, lights are coming off.
Here's Pentagon.
Welcome in, Pentagon. Happy Friday, Rob. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. Trying to get our get some cargo delivered down to Memphis here before I have to go out on a date tonight. And yeah, we got our 3 Robs now. Where's Flying Alpha when you need him? We need a 4th Rob. Yummy. Okay, let me. Sorry, this is the part that I. This is the part that's awkward. Sorry. Okay, I want to see if this. See, doggone it, it's not working. How do you like it? It's pretty awesome so far, isn't it? Rats. I've got work to do. Shoot. All right. Well, you know what? I'll get that at some point. It's pretty cool when it works, because I've got about 8 different views kind of outside, and the camera just rotates around it, and it looks pretty nice, I think. But I still have some configuring to do, because when I change into a different livery, you know, same plane, different livery, it's almost as like it's a new profile, and there's some different things that need to be done there. So I'm not sure. I know I've been actually working with Jeffrey quite a bit. He's helped me out a ton right now, or up to this point. So I'll try to get with him on the side at some point. And I also had kind of an intro little scene set up that I was really happy about, and it didn't work today. So I'm like, okay. But we'll get there. We'll get there. All right. Going standard here. Yep. Standard. Yeah. Everything is looking good. Let me go through the after takeoff checklist here. Through 10,000, we got our lights off. Off. I didn't turn the logo light on. We'll turn that on, even though really probably don't need it because it's daylight. I'll keep it off. The altimeter is set standard, and after takeoff checklist is complete. Ooh, I know one thing I forgot to do. I forgot to set the auto brake to I was supposed to set the auto brake to max, just in case we went RTO. Missed that. Is that just not in my my checklist here? Nope. Auto brake set max right after turn traffic on. And I don't think the weather. I don't know if the weather's working or not. But we'll turn weather on here onto system 2. We'll just kind of keep our eyes peeled. We've got some pretty wicked weather down Memphis way, so it would kind of be handy here if we had the ability to show some weather on our screens there. But yeah, you can kind of see what we got buzzing through the Memphis area. It may be gone by the time we get there, and we are green dot at Memphis right now. Jackson's kind of getting it a little bit. Columbia. So, but that's a nasty looking storm here building up. So we shall see. Should make for an interesting arrival. You spoke with Mark. He's going to change the AI aircraft list so you can sort out the tail number instead of distance for the next air show. Oh, hey. That's cool. Now, I didn't watch it, but I heard word on the street was that the Abbotsford Air Show was using a different method for tracking the airplanes that was not really all that good. Like the way that you had it set up with X camera was way better from what I heard. Like he was almost doing like a mouse tracking deal, or whoever that was. I don't know if it was a he, but so I thought that was kind of cool when I heard that. Kind of a feather in your cap there, Jeffrey. All right, we're just about there, guys. At that cost index at 90, so we're gonna be rolling, baby. We're already doing 490 across the ground, and that includes a freaking 77 knot wind right in our mug. We're going to be well over 500. That's cool. Well, and that's, you know, the neat thing about that is, like, that's their third year of doing it, right? So they've, I'm sure that they've done the same thing we're doing, which is, you know, kind of look at what went wrong and what went right and make adjustments off of that for next time. Shoot, yeah, it's a date night cost index. That's right. I got a cost index for this thing, Kevin, the other day of 200. I'm like, whoa, holy crap. So, yeah, we'll be rolling about 85% N1 the whole way, I think, to get there. But hey, I'm cool with that. And the fact that there's no ATC can also be an advantage to us here. And I'll tell you what I mean here in just a second. Let's add a flight plan from simulation brief. Because, yeah, I guess I was going to give myself a little shortcut here, but I guess it really isn't much of a shortcut. So, never mind. Never mind. Who's out there flying today, friends of mine? Casual. He's up running around where? He's up running around. He's up in, or down in Florida, FLA. Doing a little Orlando to Raleigh-Durham in the 737. That sounds like a fun flight. Mr. Arco. He's always out there international. He's in Eastern China today. Mr. Josh. Oh, Canada. 777 time for Mr. Josh. Ooh, Kennedy to Taiwan. Boy, oh boy, that's a flight. Holy moly. That's got to be, man. That's got to be every bit of 10 hours, doesn't it? Even in a 777. Pierre Luck, our French-Canadian buddy, he's in the 737 flying down to, like, Trinidad and Tobago. Very nice. Pierre Luck has a very good YouTube or Twitch channel, by the way. Sphinxonian, he's at Dubai, getting ready to go somewhere. There's our friend Kevin, taxiing to the runway here in up in Jamestown, North Dakota. Heading down to Grant County. Must be an FSE deal for that. Skydive Rob is here for. Oh, nice. I love it. I love it. And Zaf. Zaf is doing A300. Very nice. Very nice. No, sorry. A320 Neo. From Anchorage to Dallas Fort Worth. That'll be a fun one. American flight. Nice. Very nice. Going to be a great day to be in the virtual skies. I think we're being robbed. We're being there's a good FNO tonight, and it's the Summer Sizzle FNO, and it's down there in the Dallas area, so I think you guys are going to enjoy it. I'm not going to be able to do it, but that's okay. Dallas Fort Worth and Dallas Love, which would be kind of fun. And you know that there's probably going to be, like, they're probably going to staff Houston and maybe Hobby. So these are some really fun places to fly. Very busy and congested, and it's kind of like the New York area or the Washington area where there are so many big Class Bravos and Charlies and that are in such a small place. It's sometimes hard to figure out where you're going. Like what airport, like report the field. The field's at your 3 o'clock reporting site, and you look out there and there's like 5 airfields. And anyway, yeah. So it should be fun. Hopefully you guys will be able to fly in it and tell me all the stories later on. Skydive Rob, I hate to tell you this, dude, but I don't have anything to give you. Nothing to give you, man. All right, what else do I have to tell you guys? Gun's plastic, it's okay. All right, Jeffrey, you have an awesome dinner and a great night. Tell your wife hello. Tell your family hello. And we'll see you, I'm sure, maybe tomorrow morning with the Cinnabons event for the Virtual USA Flying Club. Take care, buddy. Depends on how dinner goes tonight, right? Yeah, I understand. I understand completely. Yeah, so I know what I was going to show you guys. You guys probably already saw this. Whoops, no, that's not what I want to show you. So, was able to get out and do a little fishing today. And, man, oh man, did my mom tie into one. Holy cow. She generally outfishes me anyway, but this is my mom. And this is, I got to think, it's every bit of 18 inches, maybe 20 inch, just big, beautiful, healthy female rainbow. And yeah, when we put her back, she would have made some good fillets, but I kind of like those big girls to keep making other fish, so we put her back. But that was a awful fun way to spend the morning. That's what we were up doing, and it was a beautiful day out, just a super fun day. But yeah, that's what I told my brother when I texted him the picture. I'm like, well, there's the new record of fish to catch when you turn 78 right there. I'm like, wow. So yeah, Rob, exactly right. We need those genetics back in the creek, not on my grill. I generally am a catch and release guy, unless I hook one that's just, like too deep and I do too much damage to the fish and I know they're going to suffer. Then I'll put them out of their misery and I'll eat them. But I like to put them back. Okay, well, so that was a pretty efficient setup and departure there. Honestly, I think this plane, the one thing that's nice about it is it isn't a super complicated plane to set up and get flying. And I could have made it even a little quicker had I properly used the SimBrief downloader, because then the entire flight plan minus the SIDS and stars would have been loaded for me. So yeah, that is the benefit. If you're, my head itches. I got a few mosquito bites today, I think. But if you're on the fence about this plane, I know it's not a new plane. I know initially when it came out, there were quite a few issues with it, and I actually held off purchasing it because of that myself. But the Rotate guys have done a good job. They have addressed, at least from what I've seen, basically every problem that is there, and now it's flying very, very well. The issues I was having on descent, I think, were some of the same issues that people were reporting, not initially, but like later on, and they were saying, hey, the plane's still bugged, and it's not. It just has a specific way of loading things up, and I'll show you kind of when we're on descent the things I struggled with. If we have any, do we have any ATC anywhere? We got Boston. We could listen to Boston. Boston, we got Jacksonville. 3592. I don't know if we're close enough to listen to those guys. Let's see if we can monitor. Uh-oh. That's not right. That's interesting. There's a little bug right there. It goes from it's skipping by 15s. No, more than that, 25. Weird. Oh, that's really weird. All right, but we'll monitor that, or we'll not monitor that. We'll have to actually wonder what this one does here. 35 925. This one does the same thing down here, huh? Okay, weird. Okay, so that is a little bit of a bug still. Oh, well, it'll let me do it. 35 9. It'll let me do it when I transfer the frequencies, but okay. If I transfer this and go to 135 925, now it works. Well, it doesn't really work appropriately because it's going by 25s. Oh, that's really weird. Okay. Because I want to be talking. I want to be talking on Unicom and just monitoring that. So we'll turn that on and see if we can monitor. I heard a little bit of ATC. It's kind of faint right now because we're a long ways away. Yeah, no, that's not working there either. Okay. Ah. All right. Okay, that is monitoring it. Okay. Interesting. So is this also monitoring it? No, that doesn't do anything. All right, so it doesn't look like. Doesn't really look like the COM frequency works in COM 2. Interesting. This one, excuse me, this one though it does. That'll allow us to monitor that. Hey, Steve 09er. Second favorite 3-holer. That's right. That's right. Speaking of 3-holers, it makes me think of FlyJ Sim, and I heard on another streamer's broadcast. Oh, excuse me, guys. That the FlyJ Sim 737, not the 727, but the 737, had been updated for X-Plane 12. And of course, I got really excited about that because I got, you know, how much I love those planes. But the bad news is I did install it, and yeah, it's not ready yet. There's some engine startup logic issues. So the plane is mostly functional, but you like the engine startup doesn't work correctly, and then you don't have any way to transfer the power from the APU to the engine generators. So there's still some issues there that they're working on. So anyway, if you hear that rumor, it is just a rumor. It's not yet ready. I know. I'm the same way, Steve. I was like, oh. But I've got it uploaded. And the thing I should have, as soon as I started looking around to check a little bit, I got a little suspicious because there was nothing anywhere that indicated that it had been updated. There was some forum thread that said it's in early alpha, and like I don't know what that means, but that means it's not ready. But on the Discord channel, the FlyJ Sim Discord channel, they still have the message up that says, yes, it is in the works. We have not forgot about it. Let me see if I can actually find it for you here. Where are you, FlyJ Sim? I have way too many Discord channels. I need to go through and do a summer clean out. Well, I'm not finding my Discord channel. right now. Oh, there it is. Nope, that's FS News. Sorry. There it is. FlyJSim. I think it's in the NOTAMs page. Yeah. So this is if you're a part of the FlyJSim Discord, this is kind of what Delta Who put up, and it's just regarding the classics, right? Is it coming? Yes. When? Jack doesn't have a date. He's very preoccupied for the next 2 weeks, and this is back in middle of June. So I'm thinking maybe he's had a chance to kind of come back to it or not. But will I have to pay again? They're indicating here that it's going to be not a new version, but just an update. So those, like they indicate that those ones where they patch, like with the Q400, those are free updates. No weather radar. What about a gravel kit? UNS, Super 27, all those different things there. They just said that those would be, extensive changes, and would basically mean that they would be a new version of the plane. So for now, it's a no. I think he's just focused on just bringing over the, just making the current version of the 737, 727 compatible. ARM fixes. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what that's referring to, but anyway, so slips back into the night, the silent watcher. So yeah, so that's where we're at with the FlyJSim guys. So it's okay. I can wait a little bit yet. I'm sure that everybody saw that that the subsonic. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you too excited there. But I'm also sure everybody saw that the Kodiak from Thuranda has now been updated to X-Plane 12, which is cool as well. But they have actually apparently made extensive changes, and so it is a what's called a paid upgrade, which means you got to buy it again. So the X-Plane 12 version that's currently, like, the way they kind of framed it is the one for X-Plane 11 was a Quest, and the one for X-Plane 12 is the Daher. However you say that. And so I'm like, but I do think reading the release notes, it looks like they've made quite a few changes, and also I can understand, like, I really can. Those guys work hard, and the fact that most things have been either free updates or price reduced updates, every once in a while having to pay full price for one's not really the most unfair thing in the world. We get a little bit spoiled, I know, but yeah. Oh, no analog panel on that one. Subsonic, really? I guess I didn't notice that, but yeah, all the G1000 stuff still, huh? You have the 208, so the Kodiak doesn't make sense for you, Steve-O. Yeah. And subsonic. Yeah, I heard a lot of people talking about that, how that the rep pack helps make the one in X-Plane 11 compatible with X-Plane 12. So, yeah, and yeah, Skydive Rob, you kind of hit it on the head with that last comment there. Wait for the sale, and the Thuranda guys, I mean, they're very fair. They put stuff on sale quite often. That actually, the Kodiak for X-Plane 11 was the very first paid add-on that I grabbed when I moved over to X-Plane 11. So you just don't like that G1000. Yeah, Mike, you bought that one from MSFS. The Soul, is it? It's not Blackbird Sim. It's Soulworks, Soulmade, whatever. I get those two mixed up with that Kodiak over there in MSFS. Soulworks, is that Soulworks Sim? Yeah, that's a nice plane. Oh, you can't fly it. it's got some interesting flight characteristics. There's no doubt about that. And the X11 needs a lot of work. Yeah, it's just not as user friendly as some of the other systems we have, right? Love the Kodiak, just not the avionics package that comes with it. Sure. What I liked about it in X-Plane is that it came with the amphib version and the wheeled version just kind of right out the chute. You know, in Microsoft Flight Sim you have to buy the two separately, but yeah, no, I mean, I think it's just, yeah. Normally the X-Plane FMCs are pretty good. They're pretty, yeah. Just overall, like I like the G530 that they have, the G430. Those are all very good, and the X1000 I think it's okay. But oh, really? That would be fantastic. Steve's saying that the working title guys are helping with the X1000 for the upcoming Diamond 42. Now that would be pretty cool. Those working title guys have done a really nice job.
Southwest 3750. Thank you for the ATC services. You were great.
You know that COWS is working on an X-Plane 12 DA42. I'm not recognizing that name. What developer is COWS? Cows? That's just, okay. I haven't heard of those guys. I've not heard of those guys. Okay. A custom G1000 NXI. And it's so cool to see all the developers right now, how active they are. Man, it's awesome. Some great planes. Just Flight's doing some awesome stuff with their, the F-28, and of course, 8-to-8 just came out with that Comanche, and it's pretty cool. And X-Plane, those guys are, I know Just Flight kind of said, well, look, we can't. It doesn't make sense for us from a business standpoint to keep developing for a platform that's not really making us any money. I still think that there's plenty of devs out there that like the X-Plane platform, and I know the numbers indicate, the market indicates that MSFS for sure is the more popular sim right now, but I think that you have a pretty solid long-term user base with X-Plane still that are gonna stay loyal, and maybe in some ways kind of like FSX used to be, or FS9, P3D guys a little bit, right now. But certainly it doesn't feel like X-Plane is necessarily thriving like it once was, but it's not like on its way out the door. Kind of like P3D kind of feels like that store that has the, everything must go sale sign out front of it, right? Although Continuum did a really nice stream last night. He fired up his old P3D version. I don't know if it was version 4 or version 5, and he flew the 777, and I had just kind of forgotten how nice P3D can look and how functional it was. I mean, it really was a good solid sim. It just was so expensive. Everything just cost $20 more or $40 more or whatever, and the world just took, it was the default world in P3D was just brutal. Just brutal. So you had to have payware mesh and payware airports all over the place. Yeah. It's not all doom and gloom. Work needs to continue. You're optimistic. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that Max looked neat. It did. It did. Yep, and subsonic, yeah, I think, I don't know that it's, I'd wonder if that's across the board for developers that X-Plane sales have dropped, or if it's just flight. I don't know. But they definitely have more traction right now in MSFS, so 100% get why they're doing what they're doing. I'm just hoping that maybe as a parting gesture that they will make the BAE 146 compatible for X-Plane 12. I don't think they're going to, unfortunately, but that'll be an aircraft that I really truly miss flying. I really like that aircraft in X-Plane 11. Vertical Sims, another guy, yep. And I remember he was pretty adamant, not too long ago, that he was not going to develop for both platforms, and that he was pretty firmly committed to X-Plane. And then he's like, well, why don't I just give it a shot? Let me put, I don't remember what it was, Syracuse probably, or something like that out there, Tampa. And it was a hit. And so, yeah, I mean, if you're going to spend hundreds of hours working on something like that, I don't blame you for going to where your sales are. I really don't. And I don't feel like you're selling out or anything like that. I don't. Vertical Sim's always been a super supporter of X-Plane 11. He's always been really, really fair with his pricing model, and yeah, I think responsive to people, like when they sort of have feedback for his scenery and things like that. So excuse me. Yeah, Steve-O, I think you're right. I think the fact that Microsoft Flight Sim was able to come out and have the success that it was, I think it expedited X-Plane 12's release a little bit. I do. Yeah, and Carinado. Oh yeah, Subsonic. You also put down Carinado PMDG. Yeah. Carinado's just an odd company. I don't know. They just are their own little entity, but they've got an itch, right? There are people that are going to buy their stuff because it just looks phenomenal, and that's kind of the Microsoft Flight Sim crew. Let's be honest. Like that's the crowd for the most part that is there for the visuals and not as worried per se about the systems. They want things to be, as realistic as they can be, but like if there's, if the engine startup procedure is not exactly the way it is with the real aircraft, or the FMC is not exactly doesn't have all the functionality, or like for the most part the Microsoft crew, those people don't really they don't really care. They're flying in this view anyway for most of the flight. And so they don't give a crap, if the TCAS shows airplanes on the heads-up display. I mean, that's kind of a pretty picture, to be honest with you. They're just they've got a little different mentality of flight sim. Now, there's still some pretty hardcore aviation people that are enjoying things like the Fokker, and certainly the Comanche, and so that's nice, because I know there's a lot of us that we do appreciate the work that goes on under the hood, so to speak. Oh, hey, hello. I'll try to get a picture of this fast if I can. But yeah, and then on the flip side, the X-Plane crew, right? Like they're less concerned about what things look like, and so they would rather have systems that are modeled correctly, and so I don't know. It's just like it's been interesting to watch the two play off each other, no doubt about that. I want both. That's all I want. Is that too much to ask? I want incredibly high fidelity aircraft that look unbelievably good and fly in a world that is ultra realistic. Is that too much to ask? Do I have the Mango Studios sound pack? I do not, Subsonic. I have the FT Sim Plus sound pack. It's odd how the high fidelity airplanes were dominant in FSX and now they seem to be more X-Plane 12. Yeah. It feels to me a lot like when X-Plane 11 came out. I was in FSX and then P3D and man, oh man, X-Plane 11 just caught fire because of the just the whole open source sort of concept, and all these developers started putting out aircraft like the FlyJ Sim guys, and then Carenado kind of went from FSX into X-Plane a little bit, and P3D into X-Plane a little bit, and then there the split, and then Thoranda came out and started working in X-Plane. Anyway, all these developers started putting stuff out for X-Plane, and when you would monitor the forum posts, like all these release notes, like there'd be for every one plane or one scenery or one utility that was getting released for P3D, there were like 5 or 6 that were being released for X-Plane, and the prices were better. So it wasn't surprising. You could see the writing on the wall that the majority of flight sim fans were gonna gravitate towards X-Plane. Well, now it feels like X-Plane is the one that has the less development, and Microsoft Flight Sim is the one that has more activity, and their products a lot of times are priced even a little bit better, right? I mean, that A2A Comanche is one of the most expensive add-ons, and it's $50. Like it's you can see the momentum has shifted back to the Microsoft people for sure. They've done a good job of that, and I'm curious to see what MSFS 24 does. I mean, I'm curious to see how that shakes things up. I don't know. May end up closing P3D down. I don't know. All right, what do we got? Getting these messages here. Let's look down. Combination of weather, I think. There we go. This right now for me is the big like the big advantage that I see Microsoft Flight Sim on my system is the performance. Like I can fly the PMDG 737 or the Phoenix A320 and not really have a whole lot of trouble with frames, and I jump in a rotate MD11 or the Tolus, and yeah, it's a different story. So I don't know. They've got to address the performance issue a little bit. And I don't have I'm not maxed out really on either sim. So yeah, see, as soon as I look outside and I'll have the weather that's being generated, it's just too much. So
What comes to pop culture?
if X-Plane lingers, they will be surpassed. I think they've already been surpassed, Steve. I think that the king of flight sims right now is Microsoft Flight Sim. And I think MS-24 is going to be even that much stronger from the sounds of it. So for X-Plane, you know, what they need to do is figure out like how to get the market swinging back in their direction a little bit. And they don't, you know, they've got a really good thing. I love the concept. I love the approach. I still do. I still like the fact that you can create, you know, scenery and aircraft, and you can go in and tweak stuff, and that is awesome. I love the user interface of X-Plane 11. It's so simple, so intuitive. The camera systems, the replay, all that stuff is just awesome. I mean, so they've got a great platform. They just have to figure out a way to, I don't know if it's a marketing thing or if it's a, I mean, I know a big part of it again is the visuals. I don't think you can get around that. I think if you're a brand new flight simmer and you look at the two sims out of the box, X-Plane just doesn't compare to MSFS. And so, yeah, I know you can make ortho imagery, and you can install a bunch of plugins. You know, you can put X World in, you can put Global Forests in, and then you can make it look pretty comparable. But, you know, for the average 16-year-old kid that just wants to get on and fly, like, they don't want to learn how to do all that stuff. The hardcore guys, they're going to learn that stuff. But so I don't know. I've always contended that that's been a huge stumbling block, and I know they've got really smart people there that I'm sure have been thinking about that same thing for ever since MSFS came out. And if there was an easy answer, they would have done it. They would have implemented it already. So, hey, Arch DNA, thank you for the follow. By the way, you snuck in on me there. Good to see you. X-Plane's giving you issues on the longer flights, so you got some kind of memory leak with something, don't you, Steve-O? Yeah, turnkey MSFS has surpassed X-Plane, yeah. Maybe X-Plane's leaning on the commercial market. I think so. There's a lot of people that indicate that are a little bit more like in the know, I think X-Plane has some very, very lucrative commercial contracts that are like that's paying the bills, right? X-Plane 11 and X-Plane 12, like that's buying you. That lets you upgrade to the large ice cream cone instead of having to buy the medium ice cream cone. That's not paying the bills. So the attention is somewhat not there, because I do think they're trying to take care of their professional clients. So, hey, yeah, Arch, I mean, feel free to weigh in. I know you're one of the guys that's pretty knowledgeable in terms of flight simulation, and you always have great perspective when I watch your streams. So feel free to chime in. I mean, I'm not saying anything that hasn't been said before, but it's a good way to kill time on a 2.5 hour freighter flight. But before we do anything else, guys, I've got to do this. I have some very sad and hungry looking pups. Yeah, we're about halfway. No ATC anywhere near. So this would be a good time for me to get up, go get them a little something to eat, and also get a little stretch break myself, and then we'll be back. I think, you guys, we've got an hour and a half until date night commences. So hour and a half. Let's see. We are estimating 2213, and right now it is 20. Are we 2101? I think right now. I think we're going to be okay. I think we're all right. I think we'll have 17 minutes to spare, guys. That's what I'm talking. Well, then we got taxi, so maybe not quite. But all right, I'm going to go do that. I'll be right back, you guys.
Alright, my apologies. Alaska 594. I see you now. 20 miles southwest of St. Augustine.
Whoop, whoop, pull up. 3, 3.
Fly heading 030. Instead of maintain 7 down. Vector using ILS runway 26 approach. 030. 7 down. Vector ILS 1 north. Blockland. Alaska 594. 030. 7 down. And vector ILS. Descending between 7,000 and expect vector pilot. Wait, not that. Okay, 303 contact Orlando approach 141.8. 48 Air Canada 303 field. 3800 once you vacate Orlando approach 14.8 seconds. Gate 5, I think. Alright, apologies. We have the aircraft calling over near Pensacola. Can I have that call coming here?
Yeah, good afternoon. Southwest 1424. I'm at flight level 258 descending into Panama, and I'm coming up on the Crestview VOR about 25 miles west of it.
1444, radar contact position as reported. Reach enter responders score 1052.
I had a lot of reverb, but I believe you said squawk 1057 Southwest 1424.
That is correct. Yeah, 215, my phone. Send me the sign cell 3 arrival. Yeah, 215, my phone. Click filed and get out. So you're cleared to Orlando via as filed, except the sign cell 3 arrival. And then descend via the sign cell 3 arrival. So that's all clear to down and out of the That was the should be on the sign cell 3 arrival. Yeah, thanks for starting the computer there. I just saw it right at the last. Alright, American 3531, lens that are offline, run a service termination.
You want to unit, Bridget Hill, 3531.
That was 2424, positive pressure maintained, just for now, 111000. You just have to pull out altimeter 200 underscore, I'll have more instructions for you shortly.
Descend to and hold 111000, altimeter 2994, Pensacola, Southwest 1424.
Okay, there, grab a second, my apologies. Southwest 1875. Sounds like it's Southwest 1875. Jackson, hello, squawk 1026. November 76 Delta Quebec, how you doing up there? Can you still see?
A firm for 76 Delta Quebec. It's pretty much VFR so far.
Roger. Jacksonville altimeter 2990.
2990 altimeter. I am getting a little cloudy up ahead, but I'm hoping it'll break up.
Okay, just let me know.
Actually, that's the United 1755, we need flight level 350 there.
1755, Jacksonville Center, hello, squawk 1050.
050 the box, 1755. Southwest 1407, we had kilo.
Thank you. American 336, exit airspace to the west, Houston offline, or the termination, changes master route. Okay, sir, master American 336, hello.
getting real bum tip here, by the way.
1407, Roger. You should be descending to the couple of minutes, but I have requested that area.
Thank you very much, F-Boat 6.
Contact with the approach 4.8, talk to you.
Okay, 4911, heavy 39 here.
4911, heavy jack, 100 load, 110, 594, continue to send down to 4,000. 4,000 up, yes, 500. Southwest 1875, radar contact, mode 330, 13 miles northwest of Prestige VOR, 1955, radar contact, 12 miles west of Dixon Airport, 990 north. First 19 Jacksonville, Center, hello, Squawk 1051. 1051. Thank you, just appreciate it. Turn 188, contact on weather approach 1 negative. First 188, contact on weather approach 4.8. Weather approach 124.8. Hello, 492, thanks for the call. Runway air fly, runway heading to 270, got 17, runway. Southwest 1407, contact or weather approach 4.8. Thanks for the president.
4.8, thank you.
Number 930 Foxtrot Yankee, send you the sign South 3 arrival from Orlando, altimeter 2994. Number 930 Foxtrot Yankee, Jacksonville Center.
Send via the Sound 3 arrival, November 930 Foxtrot Yankee.
Jack Center, gonna 4911 and somewhere about
4911 radar contact, 15 miles north of 11 protection 490, take it long. Alright, Southwest 1404, I'm looking at the Panama City winds coming out of the south, so it seems like the ILS for runway 16, is that right?
That's a firm for Southwest 1424.
1424, roger. Have been maintained 3,000, and are you able to clear or close direct auto?
That is correct for Southwest 1424.
1424, roger, clear direct auto to maintain 3,000.
Direct auto down to 3,000, Southwest 1424.
Hello, 492, data 17. 492, radar contact, maintain 350, direct elevation. Direct 350, direct elevation, 480. Alright, did anyone else need Jack Center? I know it's a hectic, does anyone else need it? For the 241 cross lean at maintain 13,000 and altimeter 2997.
Alright, cross these at 13,000, 2997, Delta 241.
So 241 cross lean, that's Oscar Lima Echo November Echo. Yeah, we're checking on. We're not showing that on the FMS. We're checking on the arrival right now. Delta 241 gave us
All right, thanks for your patience
may or
there.
may not
We've
be
got
there,
some
they can expect,
happy, well-fed pups now.
Okay, we'll
Let's
put her in,
see. Oh, Arch came in with a good comment here. He's talking about, I agree, the visual aspect of the sim world in today's day and age is going to be the selling point above all. Yeah,
your turn. My apologies.
physics was where X-Plane 11 had the edge, but yep, Asobo has grown and showed it can do things. Yeah, well, and maybe like that. So you're right. The gap is closed between physics, performance and the way that planes handle and feel and all that, between X-Plane and MSFS. Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 bring even more changes, and Asobo not being limited by 2020 will show more room for things like the 8-to-8 planes. Yeah, what the sim can do. Yep, and yeah, when you put so that's kind of the point that is really good and important. There is that I don't like A-to-A has shown that. I mean, like there's not a huge difference between the performance in terms of that high fidelity flight model and systems and all that. Like it's pretty close, and I know that they do. I mean, I can't go into the whole blade element theory and all that some other people can talk about more than and understand more deeply than I do, but I think the physics are pretty close. They're pretty close. We did talk to a developer down at oh, hello, what happened here?
Center Delta 241. We're having
Something happened here. Interesting. I wonder if my dog came by and nudged the trim wheel or something. He's been known to do that. But we were able to talk to one of the lead. Well, he's not a developer. He is the bridge between the creative element and the developer element. He said, I'm the guy that sits there and makes the artists and the coders play nice with each other. But we had on the second evening barbecue that was down at one of the flight museums. Downwind Sim and I sat and had probably a 2-hour long conversation with this guy, and some of the things he talked about, it's gonna be next level stuff. It really is. I'm pretty excited. Hey, Flying with Mike, I'm sorry, I was up feeding the dogs. I didn't see you came in with a raid. Good to see you. And instead of the dog ate my homework, he disengaged the autopilot. Yeah, so you can't really see, but right down here, just off my, well, maybe you can see it better if we do this. I probably don't have that camera set up. But just down off my right hand side here, I have my Bravo throttle quadrant set up, and the trim wheel is right at the right side, right at the right height for him. And he likes to come and kind of lean against it and rub his head on it, and like at least once a week, he'll disengage my autopilot, and usually I'm close enough because he follows me down here that I can make the fix. But had I left that on the outside view for a little longer, we might have been in a little bit of trouble. The bad landing, yeah, dog bumped it. Yep, we need a dog cam. Hey, in Innisuk, I did have one for a little while, but it just I changed configurations of my little area down here, and now they don't really hang out in a spot that is consistent. So I took it out. It was eaten. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. In their early days, they ate a lot of different things. But
Center Southwest 1424 is established on
the other thing though that I am curious about, kind of getting back to the MSFS performance conversation, is, as I understand it, A has basically made their aircraft. They've written their aircraft in sort of a sim agnostic way, meaning like it's its own kind of set of performance coding that interacts with Asobo rather than using the Asobo SDK and all that stuff. And there's they're the second group that I know of that is doing that. There's a group working on an A220, I think. I'll try to find that guy. Yeah, Outer Marker Industries. No, I'm sorry. He's working on a 707, and he's doing the same thing. He's building it to almost exist within its own sort of coding universe, and it'll be designed then to, again, interact with, because I said, are you building? I'm like, 707, that sounds awesome. Sign me up. And I said, this is going to be, you know, the $100 question, right? X-Plane or Microsoft Flight Sim? And he said, well, it's really not designed for either. It's designed to be its own system, and then we'll figure out, you know, how to make it work with one or the other. And from what I understand, that's what X-Plane or what A2A has done also, which that really opens up the door for developers. If they get that figured out where they're not limited by the Asobo constraints, then holy cow, that could really be something exciting. So I don't know, but it's cool. Like I say, it's so cool. I love it. I love how, you know, seems like every time we turn the corner, there's something that comes out that improves performance. And the first thing I asked the guy when we were talking about MS-24, I'm like, so, like, what am I going to need to run this piece of NASA equipment? He's like, no. He said the performance will be better than Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 because we've optimized, and he went into all this technical stuff about thread usage and core and all this stuff I don't understand, but he's like, we've optimized it, or it will be optimized in such a way that you will get a better looking sim with better performance without having to do anything. And I'm like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Right there could potentially be the window, though, if you're going back to the X-Plane 12, like, how do you get Uncle Mo back over on your sideline? Like, if they were able to figure out a way to get X-Plane to perform better for the average, again, you know, the average, you know, teenage kid that's just getting into flight simulation that can't afford a 4090 or whatever, like, if they could optimize how the sim ran, that might be a way for them to pull people back. You know, it'd be awesome to have a great looking sim with no stutters. You could fly, you know, with settings maxed out and all that stuff, you know. That might be a way. But I remember when X-Plane 12 first came out, and Austin's comment was not about performance. He's like, no, we want to max your graphics card out. We want to see what your graphics card's limitations are. And I was just like, no, that's not what you want to do. But they've also, X-Plane has done a good job of improving performance, and you know, there's give and take in that world. You know, you can improve performance, but it comes at a cost to something else, a visual of some sort, you know. And then there's so many, right? There's so many X factors, right? NVIDIA puts out a new graphics driver, and that helps certain things and hurts certain things. Then Windows comes out with an update, and that helps things and hurts things. And gosh, it is such a moving target. I don't know how all those developers are not just nothing but gray hairs and ulcers.
4 per kilo, 10 miles east there at 7,700.
398 kilo, I do not cover that airspace. You should be with Tampa 18.156.
All right, I think we're close enough, you guys, to start briefing the arrival We are heading to Memphis, and it is the Blues 3 arrival. So let's take a look-see here.
Number 1265 Hotel Jackson.
Have that in there? No, I don't have that in there. Okay, stand by, guys. I'm trying to get it pulled up here. There, here. There we go. Blues 3 arrival. Let's take a look-see. Hello, Finn. This will be what we're checking off of our McDo here. So we're coming in off the Bowling Green transition. Doesn't look like we really have much. We need to get down to flight level 180. Nope, I take that back. We need to be above 240 here at Axel, and then between 23 and 14 at Speaker. Down below 230 and 280 knots at Blues, and then between 16 and 14 and 280 at L-Town. 12 and 10 at Marcel. 11 and 9 at Dassick. 8 and 6 at Diggle. Okay, and then we are landing north. We're expecting runway 36 center. Okay, so let's check against that, you guys, because we're getting close actually to the arrival here, which is cool. Flight plan. Alright, so back to the Bowling Green arrival. BGW, where are you there, Bowling Green? Wait a second, flight plan. There we go, Bowling Green, 320 Harriet. Yep, that's fine. Axel, here's our first, restraint above 240 and 290. That is a speed restriction I forgot to read off, but that's there. 290 and 185, that would be fine. We're supposed to be between 230 and 14,000 at Speaker. Blues, below flight level 230 and 280 on the speed. That's good. L-Town 280, between 16 and 14. Yep, 15,000. Marcel 250. Yep, that is a speed restriction. I don't know if I mentioned that when we did the brief. And 11, or when we looked at the charts, I should say 11. Good. Dassick needs to be between 11 and 9. It is. Diggle needs to be between 8 and 6, and it is. All right, so there's the approach. That all looks great. No adjustments. Let's go to 36 center approach now. ILS 36 center is what we're looking for, and let's just keep this review going. So we're going to turn to Nesbot. We need to be at 3,000 at Nesbot, then down to 2,000 for Ginny, which is where we intercept the glide slope at 6.9 DME. It's the ITSE localizer. India Tango Sierra Echo 110.5. Final approach course is 360. Field altitude is the altitude, the final approach fix, initial approach fix altitude is 2,000. The airport elevation is 341. We have Cat 1. Yeah, so it looks like our barrel is going to be 541 here. And if we go mists, we are going to climb to 3,000 outbound. Basically runway heading, Memphis VR 360 out to the Laurie intersection, which is 13.6, and we're going to hold at Laurie. All right, let's check all that off there and make sure that all looks good. So yeah, there's Dinky, there's our Dinky at 3,000. Wait a second. Oh, that's the end of the, right here, the end of the Blues 3. Yeah, that's okay. That's where we're on the vector southbound, basically. Then we get, yeah, there's our vector. We turn back around to Nesbit. 3000. And then the initial approach fix, Ginny, 2000. Perfect. Those all look good. Then we go down to runway 36. Then we climb out, Lori, 3000 and hold. Nice. Very nice. Let's put the NavRad information in, and our localizer identifier is India Tango Sierra Echo. We're going to put that in right here. And, oh, we got duplicates. Very nice. It's going to be the one that's associated with Memphis, which is at 3590. So 3589, there we go. That's what we need. Okay, and 110.5, that is the correct frequency, and 360 is the correct course. Sweet. I think we're configured, and the approach is briefed. When we get on the ground,
It was short but great. Have a good evening.
he must be going. When we get on the ground at Memphis, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a FedEx terminal, basically, right? So we're going to come up here, 36 center. We're going to roll it all the way down to the end, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, all of this is FedEx over here. I believe that's all FedEx. Yeah, we'll figure it out once we get down there. But that's the main idea here, is we're going to try to roll it down as far as we can, exit like Delta or one of the Charlies here, take Charlie and cross runway 9er to Victor, hang a left, we'll come over here and find a place to park. Sweet. Jack Center is out of here. Yep, there we go. We're coming right up, you guys. Got an hour. Got to be on the ground, parked, shut down, stream over in an hour. We'll be good to go. We'll not be in trouble with the wife. We're going to go see Oppenheimer tonight, by the way. Anybody else going to go watch Oppenheimer? Or are you like Jet Pilot Cinnamon? You're going to go watch Barbie and Oppenheimer, which my wife tells me is now being called Barbenheimer, because it's the two movies getting promoted together. So I don't know. I don't have any ATC, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm not even going to be shy about this. We're going to go all the way down. I'm just going to load it up 3,000. That's the altitude that we need to be at when we get vectored. So we might as well put it in there and be ready to go. Now this is a little strange to me. I am showing that I'm tracking off Nav2 and Autopilot 2, but I don't really think I am. Unless I'm misunderstanding things, this is FMC1, which is what I think that I'm using for my nav data, and I guess I don't know how to switch between Autopilot 1 and Autopilot 2, Auto Flight System. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at that here, because that just, like I said, that seems odd that I'm working off of Nav2 and Autopilot 2. And maybe that's not what AP2 means. Still a little bit new to this aircraft. But anyway, we're locked and loaded, ready to go. Start downhill here in just a bit. By the way, the METAR... Let's just check out the METAR here. METAR TAF or Memphis. Let's see if that storm has passed us by here or not. Yeah, it looks like it has. No warnings. Winds are from the east at 3, so it'll be a little bit of a crosswind arrival for us. And no, we are not going to shoot runway 9er. 10 miles of visibility. Ceiling's now 15,000. 2.9 or 9 or 5. Heck yeah, awesome. So, lightning distance, northeast. I don't know what all these mean. I need to study my weather terminology a little bit more. There's a bunch of things happening in the distance. Southeast, northwest to southeast, moving east. Yeah, all that stuff, I'm sure. Anyway, I don't know. All I know is Memphis is looking good. Looking very good. All right, I am back. Backity back. We're getting close to top of drop, and then we'll start getting squirrely here. Hi, dude. Hello, sir. Boy. This is the phase of flight that I struggled with the most, and I'm going to show you the things that I've learned just in case you end up in the same boat as me. Our approach checklist basically is briefing the approach, which we've done, briefing the arrival as well, we've done that, and the taxi brief is complete. Our nav radio is set. And so local altimeter setting through 180 is what we have to do. That's 29 or 9 or 5 when the time comes. And then we've got our first fly of the year buzzing around, messing with us, so that'll be interesting. I appreciate everybody coming over and hanging out on a Friday afternoon. I hope, if nothing else, I at least distracted you from work for a few hours. Just kidding. Just kidding, bosses. Just kidding. I know some of you maybe are already making some arrangements to fly in the FNO tonight. Places down that way, by the way, that I would recommend. I think some awesome spots, like you can fly if you're flying some bigger, heavier aircraft, like flying from Phoenix or Albuquerque is always nice to come into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you want to fly something a little shorter, Santa Fe has a really cool like possibility for like maybe a King Air or something. And you can squeeze a King Air probably into Dallas Love. I don't know if I'd take it into Dallas Fort Worth tonight on an FNO, but Dallas Love would be good. If you like Southwest 737s, Houston Hobby's the place to go. Those guys down there a little bit further south, but like I said before, I'm pretty sure that there'll be some coverage down that way as well, flying into those areas. Now, I wouldn't go out of those areas if you're, if you're looking at departing. I'd make sure that you have a tower or something. Don't depart. Don't try to depart IFR out of Texas tonight unless you're at a towered field, because that's not going to work. You got a center controller that's controlling everybody under the sun coming into DFW and Love. Like, they're not going to be able to give you IFR clearance out of, Sweetwater, Texas. You're just not going to be able to do it. If you're coming in from the north, Denver's not a bad trek for like an Airbus, hour and a half, 2 hours down there. I actually flew, when we flew down to FSE, we flew from Denver to Houston in a 777. So I thought that was interesting. So first time on a 777. If you're coming from, also, if you want, again, like a little shorter flight from the north, like the St. Louis area is cool. There's also Wichita, Kansas. That area, of course, Beechcraft and Cessna. There's those Beechcraft Field and Cessna airport or right there. It's kind of neat. Fly down there again if you want to fly something a little smaller, a little more GA. There are some really cool transitions through the Dallas area too. By the way, if you like that kind of flying, like if you want to try to fly your Cessna Skyhawk, you know, right over the top of Dallas Fort Worth without talking to anybody, there's some transitions that you can fly. They're kind of fun as well. That's good stuff. Coming from the east, you know, again, you can like going from New Orleans into Dallas is pretty good. A little over an hour, I think. Wanted to stretch it out a little bit, you could do like Tampa, you know, or Orlando, kind of go over the Gulf a little bit. And of course, if you want to be international, you could, you know, go Tonkin, come out of Mexico City or something and fly up to Dallas. There's lots of options. That's what's kind of a cool thing about that area is there are lots of airports that are kind of in that 1 to 2 hour range if you're flying something a little bit bigger, tubier. And then there's of course just tons and tons of smaller airfields down there. There's even I won't have time to probably find it right now, but there's just north of Houston, there's even a little executive airport that has a water aerodrome that you could depart if you had a seaplane that you wanted to fly. Now, I don't know if there's a place up around Dallas that has a water aerodrome or, you know, sea lane or not, but you could. There's tons of lakes up there. You could take it up, do a little lake arrival. I don't know. Lots of options. The main thing is I hope you get out and fly. Go fly somewhere tonight on the VATSIM network. Enjoy your Friday night, unless you have some plans with family. And in that case, enjoy your time with your family. Top of descent is upon us, boys and girls. I have 45 minutes to get on the ground. And it's going to be close. It is going to be close. I think we're going to be okay. I think my progress is still saying, yeah, 22. So that gives me 15 minutes. I used to have a 17-minute buffer. I've got 15 minutes. No, wait, sorry. 13 minutes. Yeah, so it's gonna be close. High-speed taxi. Got to get to my gate. So it'll be probably a little bit of a short outro today as well. It was an abbreviated intro, and it'll be a shorter outro. But that's okay. That's okay. This was a bonus stream anyway, but back-to-back bonus streams. I mean, what the heck, you know? Even though Thursday is a normal streaming day for me, we did it at a little different time because we had a conflict last night. Had a really good barbecue that we went to with some friends, and it was really awesome. There's a lot of guys I haven't seen in quite a while, so it was fun to do. So appreciate you guys being flexible on the times. Okay, we're here. Top of descent should start. We are in profile mode, and everything's purple. There we go. There's the vertical profile. And we're starting to descend. Very nice. Engines are spooling back a little bit. It generally does a pretty good job of maintaining the speed, but every now and again we do have to throw some spoilers. You know what I forgot to do is I forgot to unarm the spoilers. Seems kind of silly because I'm going to have to rearm them here in about 5 minutes, but it does a pretty good job of following the profile. I know this was one of the areas early on with this plane where that really it was a struggle. It had a hard time at cruise following the lateral profile, and then it had a hard time during descent following the vertical profile. But now, unless you're a knucklehead like me and you make some silly mistake, it does a good job. Huh, Cody? Does a good job, buddy. Oh yeah, Steve, is that something on like YouTube or something? I love those documentaries. Plagued with Bad Luck, yeah. Engineer Tom, first time chatter, hello from KTPL. Well, hello, Tom. Awesome. Steve, if you got a link, man, share away. I'm a documentary fanatic. Just love that kind of stuff. All right, don't tell me, Tom. Don't tell me. KTPL. I'm going to try to see if I can remember where that's at. It focuses on an incident at Narita. Oh, okay. I got you. Gotcha. TPL. All right, I give up. TPL. Where's TPL at? Temple, Texas. Awesome. Heck yeah. So you're probably getting geared up for the FNO tonight. It's in your backyard. Whereabout is Temple? And are you still fighting 120 degree temperatures like we were a couple of weeks ago? I've got family that lives north of, it's between Dallas and Austin, okay, near Fort Hood, and it is hot. Well, that's Texas, right? You guys are used to that, but even you've had weather that, like, when we were down for Flight Sim Expo in Houston, I remember asking lots of locals, I'm like, this is hot to me. And they're like, no, this is stupid hot. I'm like, okay, if the Texas boys are telling you it's hot, then it's hot. But I've got some family that lives north of Houston, and my son actually went down and lived for a short time down in Sweetwater, Texas. So I haven't really been to Texas a whole lot. Been to Galveston area, Houston, been to Dallas, went to Arlington and watched a baseball game one time. It's a nice place, lots of people. Man, that's the hard part for me. So many people. But nice weather in the winter. It's been over 100 for 10 days. Wow. Oh, got it, man. That's a lot. And the thing that I've noticed about down there that is tough is it just does not cool off at night. It just does not. Like, it's 85 at night. Like, that's no bueno. Phil, first time chatter. Thanks for the first time chat, Phil. This is the Rotate MD11. Here, an X-Plane 12. Just a beautiful 3-hole punch. Performing quite nicely. Blue skies for now. Yeah. Oops. Sorry about that. We are on descent to Memphis. We just departed Philadelphia about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. And we're trying to get on the ground in Memphis and parked before I have to leave for a movie date with my wife. So there's lots. It's high drama right now. Bill, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. If you're here just lurking around, by the way, my name is Brant. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the Melvin Leroy channel. Melvin was my grandpa, so I've named the channel after him. He was the one that got me interested in aviation And so that's we pay tribute to him. I stream on normally Tuesdays and Thursdays at midnight Zulu, and then Saturday mornings at 1400. My schedule's been a little wonky because I'm also a teacher, and so I've had July, with the exception of a few coaching commitments, I've had July mostly off, so I've been able to be a little more flexible in my streaming schedule. That's kind of why we're doing it today, middle of the day on a Friday. But summers get a little crazy with family activities and things like that, right? So not quite, I don't stick quite to my regular routine, but I fly a variety of aircraft. I'm kind of a sucker for general aviation. That's sort of what I like the most. But you'll find me in all kinds of different things, from the A Comanche, which I was just in yesterday, to a big old heavy freighter like this, to a float plane. I even started messing around with helicopters this past year. So I like to do a little everything. I like to not do the same thing twice. I've got a little bit of ADHD, and so I don't do anything really well, but it's always entertaining. At least that's what they tell me. I have either it's a high cost index or it's a costly index. Yeah, Kevin called it the date night cost index. The cost index of 90, man. We have been hauling the frickin' mail. We're slowing down a little bit now, obviously, but we've been true airspeed of over 500 today, and that has included a pretty steady headwind, like direct into the headwind. So yeah, we're not worried about fuel today. We are not. Man. Okay, we're just about through 18.29 5, I believe. Yep, double check that. So let's update the barrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to set the minimums. They were 450. Nope, that's not right. I'm going to double check. I thought 450 will get us close. Midi altimeter 450. Boom. Right about there. Let's see. Let me go check. ILS Tree 6 Center. 541. 541. All right, here we go. Thank goodness Rotate has a click and hold feature here, because it would wear my scroll wheel out to do some of these. And boom. 541 it is. Okay, that's all set. We have exterior lights below 10,000 to go, and then we just have to start hitting our speed and altitude numbers here, and we're going to keep a close eye on the message portion in case we need some drag. I'm also going to pop over here and we're going to take a look at, so we are flaps 50. We're going to be approaching at 146 and reffing out at 141. We need to have these in by 189, 154, 144. All right. Awesome. 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 First thing we're looking for here is slowing down to 280 at buzz, and we've done a good job of that. We're needing to be below 230 at buzz, and we are. We've got L-Town coming up. We need to be between 16 and 14. We already are there as well. So this has been a very good approach thus far. So one of the things that I had trouble with that I didn't realize is when you manually take control and you have to set a speed or an altitude, you have to pull the knob out. So you pre-dial in, like if you want to go heading 180. You spin it around to 180, and then you pull the knob, and that takes it off of auto flight and gives the control to you, right? Like you're pulling it towards yourself. I was pushing in, and that was a problem. That was one of the problems I had controlling this plane. But the second thing, and the one that caused me the most headaches, I guess, is the fact that after a certain period of time, that like you have to re-engage it if you want to change again. So like, let's say you're vectored south and then you are told to turn west. In some aircraft, like as soon as you spin the dial, once you're on heading mode, the plane will continue to follow where you're going. Well, in this plane, you have to once again pre-select your heading and then re-pull the knob out, and that was the other thing that I was not doing correctly. So again, I share that with you because it was a huge source of frustration for me, and it was several flights, including a few that were actually on VATSIM, where like I was just completely out of control and had to disconnect because I couldn't control the plane. And you feel silly, right, doing that, but it's like I don't know what I'm doing. I thought I did, but I don't. So fortunately, there is good documentation for this plane, and you just kind of have to go back and reread those sections where you struggle, and it does show you everything that you need to have and all that good stuff. So I need to take a peek here at something. I'm not thinking we need outside air temps are to 15 above. I wasn't thinking we're going to need anti-icing here at the middle of July. Okay, so here you go. You can kind of see the idea here. We're going to turn south, and that's going to be basically like a right-hand downwind to runway 30 center. I would say we might be able to make a radio call here. We're almost at that 30-mile ring. No, it's a 20-mile ring, actually. So, yeah, we can make a call here. Memphis traffic, FedEx 816 Heavy is 25 to the northeast, descending through 15,000 inbound 36 center. Memphis traffic. Oop, through 13,000. You know, Active Sky, or sorry, X-Plane, I'm not running Active Sky anymore. X-Plane weather has been getting better and better and better, but sometimes their clouds are still just a little, like, if you're just looking at this stuff, that's pretty cool. You get up here, you get these, like, little, I don't even know what you call those. Those are not so cool. All right, down we go. We're doing good here. Marcel's coming up. We need to be between 12 and 10 and at 250 knots, so it's slowing down. We're a little, actually, yeah, no, we're not too bad. We're not quite to Marcel just yet. This is where we need to be. Yep, there's the speed indicator that we're trying to hold. Awesome. We're doing good, crew. Turn up those aircraft sounds for you just a little bit. The sounds, I would say, with the FT Sim sound pack are better, but I still feel like they're a little quiet. That said, the engines are all the way back at the end of the aircraft, so it probably is more realistic than I'm giving it credit for. And this is a big, long aircraft. All right, there's 10,000. Let's go ahead and get some lights on. We've got the local altimeter set. We're going to go medium auto brakes here. And it's time to rearm the spoiler. All right, awesome. Once we get on this vector here, we'll kind of let it do its thing because it's working and working on getting the speed right for us. But then we'll come off and we'll manually make that turn back to intercept the localizer, and with any luck, get ourselves down runway 36 center without doing any damage to the cargo in the back there. METAR down here says we should be good below 15,000, but we certainly are hitting some clouds a little lower. There's a scattered layer at 11 that we're below 11 though even. So I don't know. We're just running into some clouds that have just moved in. This is an area that has some pretty wild weather this time of year, so things can build up quickly. No doubt about that. Now it is saying overcast. Yeah, just updated. Sorry, just updated. So the hard ceiling is at 15, but it's overcast on the field. Still VFR though, but yeah. All right. There we go. That looks like we're kind of breaking through. Memphis traffic, FedEx 816 heavy is southbound, descending through 8,000, and we're going to be inbound runway 36 center. Memphis traffic. I don't see any. I haven't heard anybody on the comms. I don't see any traffic here on the old fish finder. Oops.
I'm the fish finder.
You might be sometimes here, sometimes not, because you do live in the UK. Hey, no worries, man. Lurkers are welcome, Phil. Lurkers are welcome. If you're like me too, I usually have 3 or 4 streams going at once, and I kind of bounce back and forth depending on who's on what phase of flight. And so yeah, no big deal, dude. Okay, let's update the heading bug, and since this is really a vector, this will be our first chance to so we're going to pull this out, and now we are in heading mode. We're tracking 191. So the down arrow, I don't know if you saw that, but it pulls it, the animation pulls it out. If you go this way, it pushes it back in, and it gives control back to the computer. Basically goes back to nav mode. But you know, usually at this point in time, somewhere around here, you're going to get a vector to kind of get yourself sequenced for the approach. We're pretty well abeam the field, but you'd never know it. lots of Tennessee weather going on right now. We're still descending. We're going to keep going all the way down to 3,000, guys. That's what we're looking for. And then when we turn We're going to try to turn and intercept Nesbit. We need to be down 2,000 by the time we get to Ginny. But what I'm hoping is when we get to Nesbit, I'm hoping we'll get a glide slope that'll help us make it down. If not, we'll dial up 2,000 and we'll try to descend down there as well. Kind of spotty clouds here today. Alright, speed is looking good. We actually could put a notch of flaps in here, and we'd go flaps 15, honestly. Actually, we're flaps 22, but that's okay. That's going to be just fine. That'll keep our speed down nice and low. And we'll take over, when we start to turn inbound, we'll also take over the speed control, and I'll show you again kind of how that works. Altitude is the same thing, by the way. If you want to take over, if you want to go vertical speed mode, click down, it pulls the altitude select out, and it tells the computer that you're gonna manually get yourself down to that altitude, and then you just spin the vertical speed wheel. Otherwise it essentially does kind of an indicated airspeed descent. Not exactly, because it doesn't hold a steady airspeed on the way down, but it descends and is mindful of the airspeed. So we've hit, you know, every restriction that we've had in our McDo here. We've managed to hit it pretty well. So we do need to slow down to be at about 150 by Dinky, which 150 is pretty close. 146 is V approach. So that's yeah. You've done 4 flights in this plane so far. Only have had 1 decent landing. You keep getting too slow. Oh yeah, yeah. It is a heavy plane. It's not a glider. All right, so here we go. We're going to turn inbound here. So we want to adjust our heading. We're at 3,000. We're going to let the engines kind of keep on auto throttle. And I'm going to spin it all the way back around here to maybe like 300. I'm going to pull it, and then you can see that changes heading is now 300. We'll start to make that turn. That may not quite be enough, so how about I go 3...
Memphis traffic, Pacific 7812, lining up runway 36 left for departure, Pacific 5, Fox on transition. Memphis.
And Memphis Center, FedEx 816 Heavy is turning inbound 36 center. We're about 20 to the south. I'm getting really slow, so I don't want to be that slow. So here's what I'm going to do. We're gonna put this up to about like 180, and we're going to take over speed control here. So same deal. Now the speed's 180. You can see the marker there, so it'll speed up just a little bit. I'm not going to put another notch of flaps in yet because it will want me to put gear down, and I'm not quite ready to put the gear down. I'm fine with this. Oh, I'm above the glide slope though. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go down to 2,000. I'll pre-arm that, and I'm going to take over, and then I'm going to spin this guy down. We'll go down at about 1,000 feet per minute. Let's see if we can get under. We got to get underneath the glide slope to capture it. So that's what we're looking for. There we go. There we go. All right, so at this point in time, I can arm the landing. And so it's armed, so it'll hopefully pick up. I've got a localizer. I've got a glide slope.
2,500.
I'm going to help it intercept here a little bit more. Oops. There we go. Oh, I think it just grabbed. Nope, I think I maybe overshot the local. No, I didn't. I think it's grabbing the localizer right now. If not, it will soon. Did it? No, it didn't. Alright. Yep, so when I pulled it back to heading mode, it disengaged the auto land, but now we got it. We did overshoot just a little bit the localizer, but we're down now below the glide slope. We're at 2,000 at Nesbitt, which is fine. We need to be at 2,000 here at Ginny to grab the glide, and it'll give us a chance to kind of stabilize a little bit here. You can see the tape says we go flaps 35. We're going to also go landing gear at this point. We're a little far out, but that's okay.
Memphis traffic, Pacific
Flaps
7812 passing
28.
3000, clear. Up 18 left.
Flaps 35. We're on. Yep. And gear's on the way down, I promise you. There it is.
Landing gear.
Awesome. Doing good. Doing good. Okay, we're gonna. So we have a couple things we need to do. This will disengage the auto flight, but it keeps the auto throttle going. And then here's our auto throttle disconnect as well. I kind of like to leave the auto throttle on just until we get really close to where we're supposed to be. It's just one less thing to have to manage. Okay, 145 is what I need here for the final our approach speed. Memphis traffic, FedEx 816 is short final 36 center, Memphis traffic. Sure where my glide slope is. Here it comes. Here it comes. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and go full flaps, gears down, lights are on, anti-ice not needed, and auto brakes are set to minimum. Pitching up just a little bit, but once we get on the glide slope, that'll correct. It does kind of come in, from what I've read, with a little bit of a nose up attitude anyway, but I'm probably a little, maybe a little early to be fully configured, but that's just me sort of
Stabilizer motion.
not wanting to get behind, because if you get behind this plane, like it's a bear. Yeah, we're 6 miles, which isn't too bad. I like to be fully configured no later than 4, so. Alright, we are on the glide, my friends. I'm going to hand fly it.
Autopilot.
Okay.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
We're still auto throttle.
Autopilot. 1000.
We're just going to try to hold the glide.
Autopilot.
Do I have to hit it again?
Autopilot.
Yeah, maybe again.
Glide slope.
Yep, I got a little
Glide
low
slope.
while doing that.
Glide
Darn it.
slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide
Yeah,
slope.
I'm way low.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope.
Yeah,
Glide slope.
hush. We know. We know. We know.
400.
Alright, there we go. Just trying to hold it level right now and come back in. Okay. We're now off auto throttle, and we've gotten too high. Yeah, so I still have a ways to go in terms of kind of getting everything mastered here, but
300.
we'll be in the ballpark.
200.
Put a little power back in because she does come down
100.
fast.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Alright, we're down. Slide the nose down. Keep it on the center line. I'm not even going to engage the reversers. We're just going to roll down here as far as we can. Might even just take the auto brake off.
Good job.
Thanks. That wasn't too bad. I got a little sloppy there. Kind of that final phase of approach, but that's sort of me. I probably just need to map a button, to be honest with you, because that looking down to get the auto throttle button is always ones that catches me. All right, we can get off here, and guys, I think we have half a chance at making this work. I've got 15 minutes to taxi to go up and change into my date night clothes, and we've got a floating bus or something here. What do we have going on up here? Memphis. This is default scenery, so I have no idea, but we got something happening here. What is that? Oh, we've got some elevation issue, don't we? Wow, weird. Okay. Memphis traffic, FedEx 816 Heavy is clear of 36 Center. And we're going to be crossing runway 9er on Charlie. I think it's Charlie. Yep, Charlie. Alright. Looking, uh-oh. Little freeze, little stutter. We're clear there. We're clear there. Going across. We are going to turn lights off here. Oopsie. Ah, dang it. Can't find my click spot. In we go. Oh, I was going to go over there. Now, you know what? We're going to call this right here our cargo home. If I was really doing this, I'd be turning the APU on right now. We don't have time really to go full shutdown, unfortunately. But we're going to go ahead and give you a little outside view and get her parked and call it a day.
Shout out to Melvin Roy. Who's that?
Chewy, what is going on, my friend? Nice to see you, buddy. You got here just in time. Just getting the FedEx packages delivered. Got a date I got to be ready for in 13 minutes. I think I'm going to be the perfect crime. And boom, shakalaka. All right, we are going to just do this again. No big shutdown here. We're just going to kind of chill it right there. Who's Lucky Girl? My wife. Yeah, we're going to Oppenheimer, man. Oppenheimer. Should be fun. Okay, well, hey, thanks. What else can I say? It was fun. A bonus stream on a Friday afternoon. And I hope you guys have an awesome FNO. Should be a good one down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Actually, hold on. Let me do this right.
Thanks for watching my papa.
Thank you again. Have a fantastic, amazing, just totally awesome night. I'm going to do this. We're going to load up our friend Continuum. He's in the vintage 747, at least he was. And I'm going to send you his way. My next stream is going to be tomorrow morning. Hopefully, if I can wake up that early, we're doing something with the Virtual USA Flying Club. So I hope that you guys are able to... can't spell raid. Hope you guys are able to join me. That'll be a really early 1300 Zulu, so 9 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. But thank you for the new follows, Phil. Thank you for the Arch NDA, and thank you for the raids, Eric Flight and Flying with Mike, and everybody else who flew along with me. Take care. Cannot wait to fly with you guys again. We'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless.